I heard the question and answer, yeah. And I mean, and you know, you hear a lot. You don't hear everything going on. Obviously, you're concentrating on the people on the stage and what you're going to say.
You know, the thing that occurred to me is, why not? I mean, you think about your life. Think about 10 weeks in your life and all of the things that don't follow a film script. You know, but if you look backward, it all fits perfectly because it all happened.
Now, I have not made it my practice to scold the audience and say I disagree with this person, I agree with that person, because it goes in a lot of different directions. I don't recall whether people were booing his question.
And that's, for me, what this movie is. It's like you can't go to B unless you've been to A. I don't think it ever goes from B to Q. It follows, you know, B follows A, but it does it in such a way that there's about 3 or 4 different movies here that I mean, I love it. I love it. I just love that it's the last thing. If you're looking at my character, everything that happens in this movie is the last thing I expected to happen, from the very beginning to the very end.
This one's right, this one's wrong, and instead I focus on the things that I think I ought to say.
I think I don't do anything in this movie that isn't totally surprising to me.
Now I want you to pay close attention to this area here. This is where this individual has a lobe attachment. It's a prosthetic that's made out of latex and it's attached to the ear. You can buy them for Halloween to put on the tips of your ears, but for the movie industry they usually use them on the lobe here. Sometimes they'll increase the lobe size if somebody doesn't have a lobe in order to put an earring in to disguise the person. But here we can clearly see that there is a lobe attachment that is on the bottom of this person's ear. We can also see where it extends up to the trachea. Now, on one of the individuals has the bottom lobe enhanced, and then for the other individual they take the bottom lobe off and they only enhance the trachea. They put a small little piece on a little lump that's in front of the ear. So it's a way of disguising both of the individual from who he really is in real life. So you can clearly see that these two ears, the landmarks match, all except for the attachments that are on the lobe and the trachea. The rest of the ear is consistent. Even by taking in the camera perspective change and the lens distortion, we can still see that the end of the nose and the nostrils and the philtrum are the same on this individual. The individual here we see is wearing prosthetics on the skin to make it look like they are scarred. So who are these individuals?
This one's right, this one's wrong, and instead I focus on the things that I think I ought to say.
I think I don't do anything in this movie that isn't totally surprising to me.
The technique that we're doing with this image is called pushing the curve. It doesn't add anything to the image. All it does is enhance the pixels that are too close to gradation that we can't see with our naked eye. So when you push those curves, when you enhance the certain levels of the colors, you pop those images out. You can therefore then see them and match them, of course, to the other subject, which is Jenkins. So again, this does not modify the image at all. All it does is enhance the image and the pixels that are already there that we just can't really see too well. It just increases the contrast and the different colors so then we can make them visible. So after we do this technique, we can obviously see that there are the same blemishes and the same creases on both subjects, so they are a match. That combined with the voice analysis and the ear analysis, and we have a good match that this is indeed the same subject. This image, of course, is for download on WellAware1.com, so you can do your own analysis. Please remember to support WellAware1.com so we can continue to bring you the news that the mainstream media doesn't.